What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we're on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. I am Matt Primo, joined by Josh Primo, a.k.a. Dick, a.k.a. Jed.
What's up, bitches?
This week, you might have clicked on this video or this episode and thought, hey, why are they doing Red Dawn this week? They were supposed to do Zone of Interest or this other movie about the rugby team that crash landed in the mountains and shit like that. Well, I'm here to tell you, did not realize that those were foreign films. I thought they were English. Well, let me rephrase that. One of them was in English, but it was dubbed, so it was like watching like the old Godzilla movies back in the day. I was like, I honestly, I can watch anime with it being dubbed because it's animation, right? So it doesn't really fucking matter. But I don't know, dubbing English voices over a Spanish-speaking cast, I can't do it. I gotta watch it in the real fucking language. And while I'm still gonna watch it, I know Josh was gonna bitch about it, so we ended up not watching that movie. Okay, so we went to Zone of Interest, which was kind of related to like the Boy in the Striped Pajamas movies that we had reviewed last year. Then going to find out that entire movie's in fucking German. So had to kick that one out too. So here we are in a fucking pro-America fucking movie, Red Dawn. And we had talked about this on the Roadhouse review about wanting to review it, and it just, I don't know, it fell into our laps very easily. Next week, we're reviewing The Beekeeper, the one with Jason Statham that has gotten decent reviews. Apparently, it's like really, really fun. And then the next week, we're going to review the new horror movie, Immaculate, which has also gotten pretty good reviews. So those are the two new movies that we have on the back burner for the next couple weeks. But this week, we are reviewing Red Dawn, and I'm pretty excited to review it because this is, as you know, Josh, this is like one of Mom's favorite movies when we grew up. So I watched this movie like every fucking weekend growing up. So definitely excited to finally jump back into this movie and watch it in a review, critical thinking type of mind.
You dumb motherfucker.
Dude, I'm struggling today, man. We've already had to start over once. I'm just like, I'm talking before my brain even fucking thinks, like, most of the time. And, like, nothing I say fucking makes sense. Just bear with me, guys, okay?
Would you like me to do the storyline?
You might have to, dude. You might have to just host this whole motherfucking podcast.
I feel like I need to. Fuck.
I need help. So we're just going to jump right into it because when I tell you I have a shit ton of notes, it is the dawn of World War III. In the West Mountains of America, a group of teenagers band together to defend their town and their country from invading Soviet forces. It was directed by John Milius. Hope I'm saying that right. He also directed Conan the Barbarian, which did not know that. Flight of the Intruder, never fucking heard of it. And Farewell to the King, also never fucking heard of it. This movie had a $17 million budget, which I'm assuming $16 million of that went to explosions because it's fucking good, dog. And it grossed $38.3 million. It stars Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, and Leah Thompson. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes, and it was released August 10th, 1984. So I have quite a few fun facts here. And I'm just going to jump right into it. 5 of the 36 paratroopers in the beginning of the film got blown as much as a mile off course during filming. One got stuck in a tree and had to convince locals that he wasn't really an enemy soldier. Could you imagine some dude landing in your backyard and be like, hold up, guys, hold up. For real, though, I'm not a commie.
You're wrong in the wrong neighborhood. That might be a problem these days.
Right. Or shit, it might be the right neighborhood, depending on where you're
Yeah.
Are you going to do that all episode again? That was a middle finger for the audio-only listeners. The plot, a Soviet and Cuban invasion from Mexico, was based on CIA and war college studies of U.S. weaknesses at the time. The film contains no computer graphic effects, chroma key composites, or miniatures, unless it's Josh's dick in there. All the explosions are real and actual size.
This guy just fucking blindsided me from the side. I wasn't even expecting that one. Damn.
Dude couldn't even defend himself. Wolverines! The film made the Guinness Book of Records for the most acts of violence in any film up to that time. According to their calculations, 135 acts of violence occur per hour, or 2.23 per minute. And this was the first film. I still cannot kind of believe this. This was the first film released with a PG-13 rating.
Oh shit. Well, man, you wasn't even born when this came out. I was 1.
Almost my birthday, August 10th. But yeah, six years before I was born.
Those were the good times.
Oh.
What the fuck are you, the Count Chocula over there now? 1.
I have nothing for that.
Are you gonna do that all show?
Huh?
Are you gonna do that all show?
Do what?
The clearing of your throat.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
that was you,
motherfucker. What the fuck are you?
I think you're just hearing feedback on your own mic, sir. I didn't do anything.
It's like I'm recording with a woman. She's throwing up some shit that you did and made it my fault.
All right, man. What do you think about Red Dawn?
Here's a fun fact.
Funny how we were going to review a Nazi movie, and then instead we decided to watch Americans fighting the Soviets.
Yeah, fun fact. I never fucking realized Charlie Sheen was in this movie.
Me neither.
I'm wondering if this had to be one of his first films. I don't like Charlie Sheen enough to go look it up, so maybe if somebody else was bored, they couldn't. But I'm going to go ahead and say this is probably the first.
It is.
Red Dawn. I love it. Love it, man. It's like I just wanted to say the Pledge of Allegiance afterwards.
Wolverines!
But it's so difficult because the movie was made in '84, so you can't look at it as the perspective of today's movies. You got to step back and look at it. Yeah, this was made in '84. Because if you don't, you'll be like, "This is fucking horrible." But I mean, if you can think of in '84, this was probably way ahead of its time, and like you said before, it had the most acts of violence, and some of it was great. I mean, it was interesting to see how they arced all the kids together. They went from being scared to just busting shit out, and overall it was good. And the antagonist of it was the generals, and I think they just did it perfectly.
Yeah, like I said, I've been watching this movie since as long as I can fucking remember. I don't know what age I started watching it. This was a regular viewing between me and Mom on a weekend night, whatever the fuck. I absolutely love this movie. I grew up on this movie. It came out 6 years before I was born. I grew up on this fucking movie. And it's been a few years, several years since I've actually watched this movie. So I was kind of hesitant going into it with a critical mind and critiquing the fuck out of it. And like you said, having to step back and just, hey, all right, this was made in the 80s, okay? we gotta give it its due. We gotta kind of give it a pass on some things. And I honestly thought it was rated R at the very, before I ever watched this again. And watching it, I'm like, oh no, that's totally PG shit going on here. This could have been so much more violent than it actually was if they would have made it rated R. But I absolutely love this movie. I think even viewing it in today's climate, especially fucking last week when the fucking apocalypse was supposed to fucking happen here in the U.S. because of the solar eclipse and shit like that. Bruh. I'm going to have to tell you about that off camera, but because I'm not going to be recorded saying any of this shit. but Tina tried feeding some of this controversy shit, and I was like, I'm not fucking having any of these conspiracy theories in my house, man. I'm not fucking doing it.
Hell.
But what's interesting about this movie is the fact that in today's climate, this could be something that could happen, honestly. So, like you said, this feels ahead of its time back in the 80s. I mean, honestly, a lot of what's going on in this movie is happening now. World War III is potentially breaking out. We got the Soviets fucking pissed off at us. Everybody's pissed off at us. And yeah, we're just all worried that some country's going to fucking invade us. And this is a good representation, I think, of what could happen if that happened. But I absolutely love it. I do think some of the action sequences are... Look, they're PG. They're PG-13, so I wouldn't sit here and say they're fucking great action sequences. They're interesting. They keep it entertaining, and they keep you invested in the story and whatnot. But as far as like action movies goes, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's one of the best action movies of all times, because it's not. It's really the story and the characters that really drive this movie more than anything. And I was worried about the characters and how I would relate to them or like them, being it 2024 versus 1984 that it came out. So, yeah, I absolutely love it. I think it's a movie that everybody should watch. I've added it to my Letterboxd list of movies you should watch before you die. This is one of those motherfucking movies. But before we get into like our overall score and like that, we're gonna talk about what we fucking loved specifically about this movie. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about before we even actually talk about like the characters and the acting and shit like that. I do not remember a bunch of stuff that happened in this movie. Like the written stuff at the beginning of the movie, it makes it seem like the world was falling apart. I'm going to be honest, I thought it was just a random Russian invasion, which is way more impactful to me. But then again, it kind of explains why no one would come help the U.S. at the time. Do you remember that first part?
No, I do not remember any of that first part for some odd reason.
Yeah, like...
I just had
crazy.
to ask you something. I noticed something creepy as fuck in this movie. Now, how old were the two daughters they rescued from the farmer?
Are you talking about the colonel and the fucking girl?
Yeah, she's like, I'm thinking she's 16, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna bone you in a minute. I was like, this is creepy as fuck, dude.
Yeah, so one of the fun facts was that there was actually more scenes recorded of that relationship, and it was further developed. But according to, I guess, IMDb, test audiences found it very uncomfortable, so they cut a lot of it.
And we appreciate it.
We do. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this dude's like in his 40s. Like, he's a little old.
Yeah, and I was like, these should all be high school kids. This is fucking creepy.
The only one that's not in high school is Jed.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure I wasn't the only one that took it that way, and I was like, I've never realized how creepy that fucking is.
Yeah, it was pretty creepy, dog. It was pretty creepy. I'm right there with you.
Then Okos was about to get a little wonka wonka, and then it ended sadly for him.
Wait, what? I don't know if I should laugh at this.
Jed and that other girl were going to hook up, and then, spoiler.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't get it.
We swap romances. Okay. I was like, I don't know if I should laugh at this.
Yeah, this was the appropriate one.
She was squeezing that juice on top of his head, if you know what I mean, right? No. Okay, I try to make an innuendo there, but she was legitimately squeezing juice over his head. I'm not lying about that.
This guy just said she squirted on him. Water.
So, also, one thing that I don't remember from this movie is I didn't realize there were fucking Cubans in this movie. I thought it was all Russian. Because I'm listening to the commander, and I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure that's Spanish that he's speaking. Are there Soviets in this movie? Like, am I just remembering the fucking wrong thing here? But it's Russian and Cuban soldiers. So
that's supposed to be Nicaraguan, too. Some tell me I didn't say it right.
I'm so afraid that you were going to say something else. I'm just going to leave it at that. And you fucking know what I'm thinking.
This is uncomfortable.
It is. Moving on. What I really like about this movie is the fact that they waste no fucking time getting this shit started for this movie. It's legitimately within the first, 2 minutes of the movie. They show up to class, and he's doing a lecture, and you can see the people falling from the sky as the lecture's going on. And the teacher's like, the fuck is this? And he fucking goes out there, and yeah, he gets his ass capped within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
And the funny thing is, if you'll look, this motherfucker gets shot before the fucking sound catches up with it.
It does.
He's like, bah, 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 and then it's like, pew pew. I'm like, y'all fucking missed that one.
How does it go?
That was one time.
Yes. So, piggybacking off of that, you know, you said the sound is kind of messed up right there. There was an explosion at some point at the very beginning of the movie. I want to say it was like towards the city when the U.S. was attacking all initially. And you could see the explosion, but then the sound didn't happen until, I don't know, like 10, 15 seconds later, which is actually pretty accurate. So I thought that was pretty neat. Some good sound design there.
I'm almost positive they blew up that fucking jet in the hangar twice. The same fucking jet. I think they redubbed us on that.
I wouldn't be surprised. You think they just rehashed the footage, got a different angle of it?
I think they did. And then what really makes me believe that is when you tell me there's no whatever the hell it was called back then.
CGI?
Well, I didn't know that's what it was called back then.
Are we talking about your dick again in miniatures? Friendly fire! Friendly fire!
I'm about to write a formal complaint to HR on you.
Send it to my email. I'll make sure it gets handled.
Yeah. But yeah, the way it was made, I don't think, if they're blowing up actual shit, it wouldn't surprise me if it was redubbed and they took a different angle on that same shot.
It's all about angles, man. Back to life.
All about that shot.
Right. So, another thing that I really enjoy about this movie is, okay, yeah, it's an action movie, and I kind of alluded this into my initial thoughts of the movie. It's an action movie, but it's more to me a movie, like a survival movie. And I gotta say, when it's done right, I am a fucking dick rider for a fucking really great survival movie. I'll fucking admit it, guys. I'll admit it. Like, I really fucking a good survival movie. I'm all there for it. The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the best survival movies of all time. That movie is fucking phenomenal. So there's a little recommendation for y'all. But like the whole standing on the car and then making him piss into the radiator, living in the mountains, hunting, and living off the land and shit like that. I get really horny with that shit.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite movies. But I did enjoy the fact that they showed that this is how they're making it, and it's not like like The Walking Dead was like We have gasoline, but we're not going to explain how we find gasoline 20 years after it's been stopped being made. Shit like that. And how the fuck we never run out of bullets.
It's not really about surviving day to day. It's really just the whole survival aspect of that show was just surviving the zombies. That's it.
Yeah, and I think they started out, and the talking to set in Walking Dead, but the first couple of seasons was a lot better at it than the last.
Another thing in terms of like the setting and like the plot and like costume designs, I do like the costume designs overall. They go from like ragged teens to like blending in with the environment. Except Tony and her fucking blue ass vest. Like, no wonder you got fucking shot. Like, bro, like you're basically wearing something that says "shoot me." Everybody else is fucking camoed out and shit like that. Hers is the only one that didn't make any fucking sense. But I digress. But the reason why I bring all the costume designs up. Can we talk about the commie camo for a second? I can't tell if the commie camo looks really fucking cheap in this movie and fake from like a budget perspective, or if the commies just do a shitty job at making camo.
What's a jitty?
I got tongue-tied. My bad, man.
No, normally I'd let that go, but you're being a dick, so I had to catch it.
You wouldn't let that go? Fuck you.
No, I think it was I don't know. I think the commies are kind of jitty with their costumes.
Right,
you know what? Fair enough.
Look, I'm just making small talk, okay?
You know what it reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of the costume design for earlier Rambos.
Yeah. You can definitely tell there's some like Rambo inspiration there.
So I feel like maybe that was just that error of which way they thought commies should dress.
I don't know, man. I'm going to lean towards the commies just don't know how to fucking do camo right. That's why I'm leaning towards it.
Hey, I'm good with it.
Another good thing, I guess we can kind of group this into, I guess, a little bit of the acting, but it's not really, it's more like the plot and the overall characters rather than like specific scenes and acting. What this movie does really well, I think, it is showing how war can affect young adults and teens, especially those that are not like, I guess, like privy to the war or killing beforehand. I think they did a really good job because at moments in this movie, you see them handling death differently. We have the one character who, it's like, this dude's got a fucking hard on for fucking killing, and he wants to fucking kill everybody. Even his fucking old Daryl that fucking sold him out and shit, he has no problem killing people. Then we have others like Jed who puts on like this hard exterior where he's like emotionless and he doesn't want to cry and he doesn't want to show his emotions and he wants to be strong for the group and whatnot. But when it comes time to killing one of his own, he can't fucking do it. Whether it be the betrayal aspect of Daryl, or maybe Tony who got shot and she just wants her, she just wants a quick death. And he can't do either of those. But when it comes to a commie, he can cap them left and right. So I think they did such a great job of kind of showing that, how it affects each of those kids differently. And none of them are the same, honestly.
No, but that one kid that liked to kill people, probably my favorite character. Because that dude sold them out, and he had no problems capping them, and I thought that was fucking a glorious scene. Jed's always, that dude's like, pew pew.
How'd it go?
One time.
Well, that scene in particular is really fucking good because this goes back to just Jed being, like, obviously he's probably the best developed character out of all of them. He's, at the very beginning, he's very approachable, caring, and then he kind of migrates to this very unapproachable, no feelings, dry, not talkative kind of character. You know, he's all about the mission. And up until the moment Daryl betrays him, like, he didn't have any emotions, and then he shows that rage and that hurt, and he, like you said, can't bring himself to kill Daryl. But I loved in that scene where Daryl and the other Soviets there, he's like, this goes against the Geneva Convention, and Jed is like, I never heard of it. I don't know why, but I thought that was funny.
You know, I will have to say one of the things I appreciate most about this movie is how you have so many characters, but just about all of them, you know, something is going on that you care about that character and you want to follow them, or you start not to like them. And I think they're all written very well, and they all arc perfectly through the whole movie. You know, they're from being just scared kids to training a little bit and then hunting a little bit to, you know, they're going on missions and shit. And like you said, you know, you see a lot of it, and it lets you in on the sights of, you know, when they do have problems. And it was interesting. I love the way it's written like that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And, you know, I love the little bits of humor that they put in the movie to kind of give it that levity a little bit. And it kind of helps break up that tension a little bit, especially when it's, you know, kids in war and whatnot. But it also gives them each, like, moments. You know, like when he's drinking the blood from the deer. Honestly, I thought they were going to start laughing and saying, yeah, we never did that before. We were just trying to fuck with you. Like, I was fucking waiting for that.
Yeah.
Or we also have the comedic moment of the Russian that's reading that National Forest Board. You know, he's trying to translate it. Did you fucking notice that he didn't translate any of that shit right?
He was just reading shit, man. He just made something up. And those two guys are like, oh, get me picture.
I think he said like 2 words that were actually on that board.
Yeah, in 1941, I believe it was the only 2 he got.
But like you said, you know, every kid kind of has like their moment, and you kind of relate to them. And to me, this movie takes the time, like, despite the fact that this movie got going within like the first 5 minutes, like I said earlier, they take their time to really push the kids to that breaking point and give them reasons for wanting to fight back. It's not just out of American pride, you know? Because, I mean, you can just say, oh, let's fucking fight for the flag. Like, that like, don't get me wrong. I'm 100% down for that kind of shit, okay? Like, fucking patriotic as fuck. But for a movie aspect, you know, it's nice to give them something not cliche. And they give all of these kids something to be pissed off at and to fight back. And it's 100% earned to me after they rise up out of the ground, you know, with those little covers, and they start just capping the commies. 100% earned right there. So like you said, I think this movie is just well written from a character perspective, which makes you, like, you're not there, like, you don't give a shit about the action. Like, you care about the action, but the action is not overly engaging enough to keep you invested in the story long enough. It's the characters and the writing and their relationships with each other, and the fact that they have those, what's the word I'm looking for? They have the, I can't even fucking think of the word I'm trying to use.
Penises.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I thought. They do have penises.
I thought it was.
But they had those motives. That's the word I'm looking for. They have the motives in going and just killing the Russians, and it's not just out of American pride. And I really appreciated that they actually took the time and developed those characters, like you said.
And you know, Jed's character, I felt like he peaked when they're all on the mountainside and they have the 3 trucks they were about to ambush on the road, and then the box of food falls out, and it pans to Jed, and you can look in his face, and he, to me, it was like, this is a fucking trap.
Yep.
But it was one of those, we're so fucking hungry it doesn't matter.
No, I think Patrick Swayze, phenomenal acting in this movie. Really great acting. For him being such a young actor, I still don't know if this is like one of his first movies. Hold on. I'll do that while I'm talking. really great acting because, like you said, there's this just look on his face, and we've talked about it on numerous episodes in the past. You know, the best acting is when you're not actually saying anything. It's all about facial expressions and shit like that. And I think Patrick Swayze did a phenomenal job in this movie.
I concur.
Let's see here. You weren't going to talk. I was hoping you'd have my back here and fucking kind of keep talking.
No, I'm fucking hanging you out, mother. Me and my micro key is hanging you out, motherfucker.
Fucking just let me hang, and I'm like, well, fuck. Now we just have silence. This is,
I thought about carrying it on, but I was like, you know what, man, fuck him.
Fuck that guy.
I'm not in the mood for small talk.
So one thing, and this is kind of towards the end of the movie, I appreciate that they gave screen time to the commies. While I appreciate that, I'm not sure I needed as much time as we got. With that being said, I had like this moment of like, what the fuck was that scene when he was writing that diary entry? The general at the very end of the movie, you know, he's like, I don't remember the taste, or I don't remember the filth of warm, or something like that. And I'm like, huh? What the fuck is he even saying, motherfucker? Like, what? This is fucking weird. But then it explains why he lets the brothers go at the very end, because he's done with the revolution and he's resigning. I mean, if they're going to go that route, I wish they would have developed that a little bit more over the course of the movie. Let him kind of progress to that. It's kind of like to me, it's kind of like a sudden change in his character. But overall, the commies just seem like caricatures, honestly. But, I mean, let's be honest here. Commies are fucking caricatures anyways, so.
America, bitch.
America.
You know, the one thing I hadn't noticed is how much the newer release of this movie bled over into my remembrance of this movie, because I could have swore there was more screen time with their parents. But I'm thinking I'm remembering the second remake, maybe. Because I kind of wish we would have had a little more time with their parents in that, when they were in the camp.
Yeah, it's still a really good scene, though. And I honestly, I don't know. I feel like it was fine, because that really set those kids down the path, specifically Maddie and Jed. It really set them down the path of, we're going to fucking kill all these motherfuckers. So I thought it was a really good scene. And come on. Can we talk about the line of, avenge me?
Curious, can I call you Maddie?
No, fuck you.
I can be Jed, you can be Maddie.
No, fuck you. Fuck you, motherfucker. So, did you realize that Lorraine from Back to the Future was in this, and the other girl, Tony, was Baby from Dirty Dancing?
No, I never picked up on that.
Yeah,
one of the chicks was in a movie. I don't remember what movie.
Yeah,
I think that was
Back to the
Leah
Future,
Thomas.
motherfucker.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Back to the Future, dog.
Damn.
She's Lorraine.
That's...
Yeah.
Fuck, that's where that... Man, I was thinking the whole time, I was like, where have I seen her at?
Yeah, both of them are in... Like, honestly, this was... Now, I'm looking it up. Red Dawn was not his first quote-unquote movie, but it was his first big-time thing. He started acting in 79, so about 5 years prior. Some TV shows and shit like that.
Oh, hell.
But if you think about it, there's a lot of actors in this that I didn't even know that were in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of them. Powers Booth. He's been in a lot of damn westerns.
You know, we don't review enough westerns on this podcast.
I don't think they make enough westerns for us to do that.
We're gonna have to go back in the day.
Oh hell,
We're gonna
John
have
Wayne.
to Well, not that back in the day. Listen, I watched a lot of fucking John Wayne shit at Papa's house, Papa and Granny's house. I'm good on John Wayne, sir. I'm like, can we watch some cartoons in this bitch? Nah, motherfucker, it's John Wayne on fucking repeat.
Oh, that made me sad.
But yeah, man, I absolutely love this movie. I think it's a movie that can be rewatched multiple times. This is not a movie that you watch once and then like 10 years later you watch it. This is I could easily watch this like once or twice a year at that. It's one of those movies. Like when you think like the epitome of a movie that comes on like TNT or something like that at like 6 o'clock at night when you get home ready to eat and you have like that TV dinner kind of movie, this to me is like the epitome of that. It's a good action movie. Or let me rephrase that. It's decent action, but you go there for the characters and shit like that. Overall, it's just a great fucking movie. And while maybe the look of it didn't age as well, and some of the things that happens in the movie didn't age as well, it's still an easy watch in 2024. This is by no means is this difficult to watch. Like I was entertained. I was invested in the story, in the characters. 4 years later.
41.
40.
Stupid motherfucker.
That's 40, bitch. It's 24 and 84, okay?
I was born in 83 and I'm 40, so if it was 84... Oh, fuck.
30.
Fuck! And I was so fucking sure of myself, too.
The greatest moment.
We need to edit that out.
Fuck no. Because you know what I'm gonna fucking do? I'm gonna clip that motherfucker, and that's going on fucking TikTok.
Damn it, I was so sure of myself.
I am texting Dad immediately following this. The best part is that you were fucking sure.
I was, dog. I was like, hell no, I got this. I got him.
And the best part was when you fucking realized it, the look on your face. Fucking perfect, man. Fucking perfect.
Shit.
Dude, I'm gonna give this movie 4.5 stars. I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means, but I'm gonna give it 4.5. What about you?
Oh, definitely 4.5, man. It's one of those iconic movies. I believe everybody should watch. You know, it's up there with Scarface, Shawshank, stuff like that. Movies that are on TV and you just pick up with them wherever the hell you find it at in it. That's to me a criteria to being a classic, I believe.
Yeah,
and
it
hits
all the time.
It just hits, man. It's a good fucking film all the way around. You know, could sit here and pick holes in their action sequences or explosions? Well, fuck yeah, but you know, that's how movies were back 39 years ago.
Good job. Hey, the explosions look good, man. I can't fucking deny it.
I'm gonna give it to them. Yeah.
But yeah, y'all let us know in the comments below of what you think about Red Dawn. Not the remake, okay? This is the OG movie. I guess I should have made a note of that before we even started reviewing this movie, that this was not the remake. Hey guys, we were talking about the OG movie, not the remake.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch on.
Well, you mentioned about Patrick. You said Patrick Swayze. So if they don't know that, then they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're probably fucking commies.
Yep, probably so. I mean, fuck, it's Patrick Swayze.
See, you know, we try to stay away from the political aspects of the world, but when it comes to commies, hey, we gotta tell them to go fuck themselves, okay?
Yeah, when you're a dirty bastard, you're a dirty bastard.
Right. I couldn't agree more with that. But yeah, guys, you let us know in the comments below of what you think about the OG Red Dawn. And also, in the description below, we have links to our Patreon, patreon.com/2game. Would really help us out if you went there and supported us. But also, if you are listening to us at this point of the podcast, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow us, do all that bullshit to make sure that you know when our next episodes drop. And all that stuff really helps us grow and expand the podcast, make it better for everybody, make better content for everybody. So we would greatly appreciate it, the support there. But with that being said, that's going to be it from us, guys. Next week, The Beekeeper, the one with Jason Statham. Go ahead and find it. I think I bought it for fucking $12 a couple weeks ago for a sale. So go ahead and watch it if you are interested in it, or wait till you hear our opinions of it. But until then, we'll catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.
Latest.